So this car, I'm just gonna, not only am I just gonna leave it sitting without the wheel on it, I'm gonna pull the other wheel off and I'm gonna put both the back wheels and tires on this Studebaker, because I wanna feel how the Studebaker feels going down the road with those wheels and tires on it. So I'm going to take my Kragers off, I'm going to set them aside, I'm going to put these are basically chrome reverse wheels here, and they fit a Chevy dog dish hubcap. They have the outward notches on these wheels, and I run a Chevy. We call this a dog dish because it looks like a dog dish. And you see there's a Chevy emblem on that, and that's what I run on the rat rod. So I'm going to put these wheels and tires on here and take these and put them over here and just drive it to see what it feels like, because I'm very much invested in having these cars feel so good that I want to drive them because they feel so good going down the road, and I just want to see what it feels like with those tires on it. So I'm gonna do that this morning. So I took them off and I drove it. I think it might be just a hair smoother with those, and these would not look bad at all on the back of the rat rod. I mean, they're pretty amazing looking wheels any way you go about it. So the lug pattern is different. This one's got a different lug pattern. Of course, that's actually, see, I run that through an adapter. That's a Ford rear end adapted to a Chevy, and that's a 20 and a 20, I don't know how to describe what that is, but the other one is 7/16 and something. Anyway, I put the ones that were on there, but they're actually Krager style lug nuts, and they're not exactly made for that type of wheel, but I've got a lot of lug nuts. So what I'm going to do is go up here and pop one of these lug nuts out and mess around with what I got there, see if I can come up with a better lug nut for that. The green wheels are ridiculous on this car, but I think once the caps are over them, I don't even think you can see the green. So I'll pop out one of these Krager style lug nuts, and we'll put another one on. So I'll show you what I was talking about these lug nuts, and the reason I'm changing them. These lug nuts are made for a Krager style wheel, and they have this shaft here and this little narrow end because that has to go down in the hole on those wheels. So if you look at this one, you can see where it's way down in the hole, whereas this one has a very wide flange, so that this one is going to give more metal that's holding the wheel on. This one is in a place where it wouldn't be too hard for it to punch through that. So the reason I'm taking those off is because those are the Krager style wheels. You need these for those kind of mags, but you don't need them for this, and these are safer with these kind of lugs than with those kinds. So that's why I'm going to the trouble of swapping the lug nuts, and I'll save these lug nuts in case I put the Kragers back on here. They would also work with old style American mags. I was looking at a couple of old style Americans online and thinking about buying them, but I'm moving more and more toward a really simple steel wheel, just because it is simpler. I don't have to deal with this kind of lug nut issue and various things like that. Now I'm going to leave these out because these are the ones that came off of the front of the Studebaker. I believe these will probably fit. Well, I don't know, because those are, yeah, these are 1/2 20s, so they should work on those back there. So I'll leave these out for now, and I'll put these others away. We'll put the hubcaps and the stuff on here, and we'll have a look at it and see what we think. This is a pretty good way to store your lug nuts. If you've got a bunch of lug nuts that you know fit a particular kind of wheel, and you're taking them off, but you're thinking, well, I might want to use them again someday somewhere, and I throw them in my jar full of lug nuts. It'll take me half a day to pick them out again, so just tie them up like that and drop that down in your lug nut jar, and they'll be I'll be together for you next time. And these are old Chevrolet hubcaps, and I like them. I like them real good. These hubcaps are tricky to get off. You have to have a claw hammer to reach in there and pull those off, and a long screwdriver to get this off. So, and this has a big notch cut in it to make room for the valve stem on these 8-inch wheels. These wheels are 8-inch wide. The other wheels, the Kragers, are 10 inches wide. They're a little wider than these. I like the wide wheels a lot. These will do. If I had thought about getting some, see, there is some green showing there, but I could paint that blue if I decide to leave it on there. I might do that, but I don't think that's a bad look. And it does have a Chevrolet engine, so even though it's a Studebaker, it's got Chevrolet stuff on it. You know, those are good looking wheels. I was looking at them on the other side. They look good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can live with those. They remind me of those Chevrolet wheels they had back in the 70s. What did they call those things? You had a little center cap and a chrome ring. There's a name for them. But those were always good looking wheels, rally wheels. The Super Sports had rally wheels from the factory, and they look good. I think that's a good looking wheel. Nothing wrong with it. So I'll run down there and put those, I'm going to put the one Krager on the rat rod. And I may leave the other one off because I know I'm going to be taking the brake drum from it out over to Don's house in a few days. So, and I'm not going to a car show tomorrow. I don't know if y'all remember, I did a fishing trip with a bunch of blind people. They're having a fundraiser, some kind of executive meeting. They want me to come, and they want to thank me for doing that. And I'm going to pick Robert up and take him with me. So that's what we're up to. All right.